What's up everyone, today we're talking about Jason Gallant from GallantNaturalBodybuilding.com. And I think this guy is one of the most underrated YouTube fitness YouTubers. And he is fantastic. I've been following him for maybe 1 or 2 years, and I just want to give him a shout out because I think his channel is awesome. He takes a very unique approach to things. He doesn't follow the beaten path. A lot of these YouTubers, they're just saying the exact same things as other YouTubers. They watch YouTube videos and then they just regurgitate what they hear. And so there's really no point in following them because you can get that information higher up the food chain. One of the main messages of his channel is to experiment with your training, to try something and see if it works for you. And I love this message. So sometimes when people ask me questions, they say, Jeff, should I do front squats or back squats? Often my answer is just try them both. See which one you like, see which one gets you better results for your goals. And this experimentation is impossible to argue against. So for example, Jason Gallant does a lot of partial reps. I don't really like partial reps. I think generally speaking, using a full range of motion is going to be better. However, the fact that he finds this better for him is impossible for me to argue against. So I can say, I don't like to do partial reps. But that's my opinion. So he says that he likes partial reps. He's tried both. He's experimented with himself over many, many years, and he's come to the conclusion for him that partial reps on some movements is going to be better. Screw the research. A lot of people get so caught up in the research. If a paper comes out and it says, they test 100 people, and for 80 of them, full range of motion is going to result in better muscular gains. Okay, fine. But you don't know if you're in that 80, if you're in that 20. So you have to find out where you are, and the only way to do that is to personally experiment, to actually go to a gym, lift some weights, try a variety of techniques, of protocols, of rep ranges, and actually see what happens. And this ethos of self-experimentation and a self-journey, I think, is extremely lacking in YouTube fitness and fitness in general. So he never tells you what to do. That's one thing I noticed. He's not acting like he's better than you or he can tell you what to do. He's often just sharing his experience. He's saying, I ate some organ meats and I got stronger. Or I did partial squats and I felt like my testosterone went up. Sharing your own experience is almost irrefutable. If someone says, this isn't backed in science, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's his opinion. It's not a scientific study. And you don't need a scientific study to back everything up. Science can be a base to draw from. It can get you headed in the right direction. It can give you some tips or hints of what might be true most of the time. But you still need to experiment with your training and find out what is actually going to get you towards your goals. So definitely be wary of anyone who speaks in absolutes. If someone says, this is always better than this, well, that might not always be true, okay? Because life is complicated. The gym is complicated. There's a lot of variables to play around with, and you need to get in there, get your hands dirty, and actually play around with them to see what works for you. And getting some advice, getting some tips, getting some starting points can be very helpful. But he always says, don't train like me. Train like you. I think his content is generally very good. It's very sort of logical. It makes sense. Yes, it's based in intuition rather than science, but there's nothing wrong with that. He's not pretending to be science-based. He's not like putting the strength back in science or the science back in strength. No, he knows he's not science-based and he doesn't claim to be science-based. Generally speaking, I think he strikes a good mix between education and entertainment. So this is something that you just need to have in a YouTube fitness channel. If you're just purely education, haha, good luck. It's not going to work out. If you're purely entertainment, actually you're probably more likely to be successful than pure education, but still, people aren't really going to be getting anything out of your videos. So he does have these like short little skits or comedy sketches sometimes in his videos. Sometimes these are really funny. Sometimes they kind of miss the mark, at least for me. Often my sense of humor doesn't really jive with his, which is completely fine. Sometimes I find myself watching his videos in another tab just to sort of get through these sections and get to the actual content, the actual advice, the actual tips, the actual stuff that I clicked on the video for. And while I'd say he's more entertainment than me, he's not like full-on entertainment like Jeff Seed, where it's 45 minutes of like techno, shirtless, public, kissing, girls, cringy crap, and then he'll give you like one tidbit. Push outwards on lateral raises. Thanks, bro. In terms of his videos, I would say they're very good. He has lots of transitions, so he's in the forest, and then he's in his car, and then he's at home, and then he's at his friend's house, and then blah, 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 and then he's at a lake, and then he's just all over the place, and I think that keeps his videos fresh and engaging. Again, he has lots of transitions. He sometimes like talks to geese, talks to trees, talks to inanimate objects. Yeah, he's definitely a character. He's entertaining to watch, and so I think if you need entertainment in your videos as well as education, he is definitely one to follow. In terms of marketing, he's pretty good. He's not too pushy. He does have a website, and he has training plans on his website. They are roughly $40 to $60, which isn't super high. I mean, I do check the competition. I check other fitness YouTubers in terms of what they are charging, and some charge like over $100 for cookie cutter plans. Athlete X, $80 program. That's bullshit. Whoa, sorry about that. Excuse me. Got a bad case of the sniffles there. Hope you didn't hear anything when I was sneezing just then. I charge about $40 to $60 for custom plans. So for a just cookie cutter template that he doesn't have to do any work or any kind of customization, I think that's a little bit high personally. But it's certainly not super high. It's not as high as some other people. In terms of his knowledge and experience, he's not based in academia. I don't think he has any kind of like certifications, but for me that's not that important. The main way that I assess someone's knowledge is I just listen to them talk, and I just listen to what they have to say. And honestly, I'm very, very impressed with his knowledge of the history of natural bodybuilding, his knowledge of just what training protocols work for him and work for other people. He clearly knows a lot about it. His channel is 7 years old, and it's not like he had one video 7 years ago or 6 years ago and nothing since then. He has consistently put out content, 5 to 10 videos per month over the past 6 or 7 years. So for me, that is very impressive. He has won natural bodybuilding shows. He looks very impressive, and he is a very, very competitive natural bodybuilder, or at least he was, and he still looks pretty damn good, I would say. In terms of his physique, he looks great. Some of his old pictures, he just looks like a fucking tank. I don't question his natural status. I think he is natural, but damn, he is definitely developed and definitely big. He's very balanced, very proportioned. And actually, a lot of the shows that he took part in were what are called polygraphed shows. So this is where they take you backstage or wherever, and they hook you up to a lie detector test, and they're like, do you do tren? Do you do clen? Do you stick a needle in your butt? And then if you're not lying, they're like, okay, go on stage, go flex. And he doesn't look as big now or as lean now, obviously, but to me, that's just a sign that he's natural. If he looked just as impressive now as he did back then, that would be a huge red flag. If you're looking better at 44 than you did at 34, that is usually not natural. So I am genuinely happy that he has had recent success. I remember following him when he had maybe 5,000 followers or so, which is just like a pathetic amount. Who has under 5,000 followers, right? God, not even a fitness YouTuber. Why would I even follow him when he has only not even 5,000 followers? But a few videos of his have blown up recently, so it's nice seeing someone get this well-deserved success. He's been incredibly consistent for like 6 years in posting content, so it's nice seeing that hard work be rewarded by YouTube. So definitely give him a follow. He is a worthy candidate for your subscription list, especially if you want to gain muscle naturally. This is definitely a guy to follow. Alright, that is it for today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Peace.